The neighborhood was first developed in 1807. While making his fortune in the grocery business, Bavarian immigrant William Haas set out to create and complete his vision of a luxurious Victorian home. Made completely out of redwood, its grandeur covered 11,500 square feet of 2007 Franklin Street. Unfortunately, after the infamous 1906 San Francisco earthquake, most of the city's prized century-old houses fell to ruin, including Haas's own establishment. Soon after the earthquake, residents of Nob Hill relocated to start their lives anew, many choosing Pacific Heights as their new home. Fabulous new mansions lined the streets, fashioning the Golden Coast with its well-known assortment of Victorian, Mission Revival, Edwardian, and Chateau-styled mansions. Architecture. Victorian homes are commonly known to have a doll-like appeal with elaborate trimmings and eye-catching colors. However, the term Victorian architecture really refers to architectural styles that emerged between 1830 and 1910, during the reign of Queen Victoria. The Victorian era prompted the use of several easily recognizable styles, including Gothic Revival, Italianate, Second Empire, Queen Anne, Stick, Romanesque, and Shingle style. During the mass production of architectural trimmings, the Queen Anne style gained a lot of popularity. These elaborate, brightly colored homes are what usually come to mind when picturing a Victorian home. This style, mixed with the well-aged French Baroque style, are what make up one of the most notable buildings in all of Pacific Heights, the House of Danielle Steele. Steele, a romance novelist with a net worth of over $375 million, resides happily in this Victorian home. The Spreckles family, who made their fortune in sugar refineries around 1856, also resides in a grand Victorian establishment known as the Spreckles Mansion. And finally, the Belden House, designed by architect Walter J. Matthews, stands as another gorgeous example of Queen Anne architecture. The house displays a style which later became popular in San Francisco around the 1890s. Queen Anne houses are characterized by asymmetrical composition and a variety of wall textures and colors. Gable roofs and turrets, elaborate details, and tall decorative chimneys add to the exuberant appearance. The Belden House displays nearly all of these typical exterior features. The home at the corner of Steiner and Broadway served as the backdrop for the well-beloved cinematic masterpiece, Mrs. Doubtfire, and the heartwarming family sitcom, Full House. In addition, a televised series, Party of Five, featured a nearby house settled on Broadway. More commonly known as Billionaire's Row, Pacific Heights is still one of the most expensive areas to reside in throughout the entirety of the United States. The national median household income places at a $53,889, while the median household income in Pacific Heights stands at a staggering $123,466. The most expensive house is listed at a whopping $40 million and is still on the market today. Some of the notable residents living in this top-of-the-list neighborhood include co-founder and CEO of Oracle Corporation, Larry Ellison, chief designer at Apple Incorporated, John Ive, and the current United States House of Representatives Minority Leader, Nancy Pelosi. In addition, Pacific Heights serves as a quintessence of cultural diversity, with consulates from as far as Italy, Vietnam, Egypt, Russia, and Greece. The area also features popular shopping and dining spots on Fillmore Street, private schools, Alta Plaza Park, and Lafayette Park.
like the restaurants?
There are a lot of restaurants, and you can buy like some clothes, some dresses. It's like a little bit expensive than like other parts of the city, but it's good. You know, many young people just walk around during the day. That's good.
The street, multicultural. You know, like just something for everybody. I mean,
Okay.
It's a very tolerant, affluent neighborhood with a lot of different venues. You know, for clothing, food. I mean, it's a great place to live.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it also looks more clean. There's no homeless people here sleeping on the street. Like on the mission where I live, there's a lot of homeless people, and it's a shelter for homeless.
What about least favorite part?
The parking.
Parking, yeah.
Parking is really hard. Look at my scooter. So it's between two cars. Like both of them can make it fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And are there any things that you don't like about the area?
Not really.
Not really. A lot of people have said there's issues with parking. Do you experience that at all?
No, I really don't. I usually use Lyft or one of the ride sharing service or cabs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, I don't. I rarely drive. I would never drive here.
No, yeah.
In this area,
I
and try to
understand
find
that,
parking.
yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, best to just leave the car home.
Okay.
Use public transportation. It's cleaner. It's better for the environment. And also helps the city revenue too.
Feels kind of old money, stuck up sometimes.
Yeah. And like, what do you think about the parking and stuff?
Tough.
I think it's expensive around here because the place I work is like a grocery store, and the prices here are more expensive than where I live. Anything
Oh, okay.
buy lunch or anything is more expensive.
Interesting.
Some people are educated, but others are like they want everything right away.
Eight.
Eight.
Okay. Yeah, eight is
Well,
good.
well, thank you for your time. Thank you for helping us. How would you rate this area? 10?
I would give it 8.
8?
Yeah.
And why do you say that?
It's important, like the cleanliness,
Cleanliness, okay.
and the transport is reliable.
All right, sweet. All right, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Sure, you're welcome.
Have a
guys.
good stuff. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, what would you rate Pacific Nights?
Is overall neighborhood?
Yeah.
7.
7?
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you very much. That's all.
Yeah.
Our group visited this area on a Saturday afternoon right around lunchtime. At this time, the area was busy as was expected for the weekend, with many families and groups of people meandering around the shops. However, one observation that we had was that the multicultural diversity that we had heard of from the interviews was missing. From our perspective, there were mostly Caucasian families and individuals, which better represented the neighborhood's demographical makeup we had found when researching the area. By interviewing and walking around businesses, we noticed a lot of smaller niche boutiques in the area. Businesses that were able to remain open and successful were ones that had found services and goods they could provide that other businesses in the area could not. For example, La Loba, a handmade perfume business, had little to no competition as their business model was unique to the area. This was a characteristic found throughout the area. There wasn't a lot of homogeneity. The businesses, architecture, restaurants, and views were all one of a kind. The area seemed to cherish individuality. However, this could be seen as a problem because as there are hardly any chains or corporatized businesses in the area, everything is offered at a higher price, which we were able to see in our interviews. Because of this, a business that our group found in this area is a low-cost, quick and easy restaurant. Most of the restaurants that we saw while walking around the area were sit-down and pricier than your average meal in the city. If the area had a pick-up or order-to-go restaurant that offered a cheaper meal in relation to the area, they would thrive.